Made it back. I literally just walked into the door. Holy crap. Kamikaze's out there today, man. Everybody's trying to bang into you. Anyway, we're going to be working on the what is it? The Sportwerks. It doesn't work. That's what we're going to work on today. We're going to try to make something out of it. Get it up and running. Tomorrow is first day of carpet, so tomorrow we're going to do track prep. We're going to get all my junk ready. It's 25 bucks, run what you want, so I'm bringing everything. We're going to bring all the toys. I'm waiting on my battery for my Quake. It's kind of depressing. But I figure we can get the servos in this, get the engine placed in, and get everything rocking and rolling. Get this to do something. Anything would be better than what it's doing now. Oh. There it is. All right, so what we got here is probably the best deal on the internet if you're going to buy a servo that'll fit this. Spectrum S614s. Bought these from Lumadave, paid about 13 bucks a piece. That's a metal geared, metal case, plastic tops. But basic standard servo, nothing fancy, but I mean, look what we're working on here. You going to buy expensive servos for this? I think not. I know I'm not. So let's get the top off. Let's get working. All right, Sportwerks. We're going to try to get rid of all the unnecessary junk. I already pulled the starter assembly out of this, and we figured out what we're going to do with the as far as the engine. Try to get this thing back out here. All right, what do we need? What do we need? Small Phillips. We're going to get this servo up out of the way. See if I can get a better view on this thing. There we go. Much better. All right. Oh, crap. Lose that screw? Where'd the screw go? A whole bunch of screws. That's awesome. Oh, well. Put this back together for now. Do not expect much from this. That's the only thing, so we'll see what happens. Okay, motor's out. Where's the rest of the parts? There we go. Rest of the parts. So what I'm trying to do is we're gonna get the, I'm gonna take out the reverse because really no way to use that unless I want to get crafty. And I don't believe that's something that this thing's gonna need. So we're gonna get rid of the reverse. I might as well just take that plate off. Get this plate up out of the way. This thing came with, there we go, 5-wire servos. That's the reason we got to replace these servos. Nobody uses a 5-wire. That's a thing of the ancient past. So we got to get rid of it. I'm going to convert it back to a 3. I don't have a receiver for this yet. I got to order one. But we're going to get those in today. We're going to get the engine mounted. We're going to put everything back together as far as I can. We're going to do a test fire. We're going to see if this thing will actually work. As long as it makes the noise, we're going to be good. All aspects, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Okay, so first things first, let's get rid of this. We don't need reverse where we're going. I am going to save all this stuff because there is somebody out there that's going to need it. Nothing. Just got back home, went out, did some running. The hobby shop that closed. I went and checked out what else they had left. If you know a guy, you could get in still. So I wanted to see what they had left. I did find some stuff. I got a couple of really, some pretty cool stuff, honestly. Found a couple of cool things. Okay, what are we looking at here? Nothing. be no reason this shouldn't come up. There we go. Well, I guess we can take that off for now. I'll just set it off to the side. Get that servo out of the way. That'll give us room to get this reverse stuff out. I already had this out. I didn't pull that servo out at all. I don't think. I'm gonna have to get that jack shaft out. All right. Like what? Picked up a couple of bodies. Just they're not rare, but they're not hard to, you know, they're worth the price. I picked up some old school dish wheels for the RC10 GT2. I think they're the wrong color. What color did I want? Or the GT? No, they're white. I think I'm good. I got some old school wheels. I got an off the big block motor mount for a Team X. So that was different. I found some old stuff. A lot of just HPI stuff. I got a brand new piston and sleeve for a K46, a bunch of K46 parts. I got just random stuff. A pair of those joints that I just ordered. I'm kind of pissed about that. I ordered them from eBay. I paid like $8. I got like 10 of them now. Right now, Pimp, I'm making a box up so that way I could send it to you. Full of 5-wire servos. There you go. There's one for you. I know how much you're going to use this thing. You're going to need all these extra parts you could get. HPI Savage, what's going on, brother? Long time no see. Yeah, man. Just picked up a bunch of Savage parts. Got a bunch of stuff. I had this out. I didn't take much apart. What's going on here? Alright, I don't need that anymore. Okay. I'm gonna stop being so nice. There we go. All right. And that gets wired directly into that box. We're going to get rid of that box probably. That's, I think, where we're going to put the new receiver. We'll be working on a couple of RCs soon. Need some need cleaning. Every time you take them out, they seem to need cleaning. What are you working on, man? What do you got? My compressor just kicked on. Couldn't hear any of it. I said I'm going to take all this nice Sportwerks 5-wire servos and all this fancy stuff. I'm going to ship it to you. That way you got to store it for the next 30 years. Till the next person dumb enough to buy one of these. But no, I picked up I got an off the big block mount for a T-Max now. I found that. I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna take that. I got some stuff. I'll have to go. I gotta go through everything. I'm not sure. I just seen it. It was HPI. It said Savage on it. I know I can use it. I know I picked up a K46 piston rod and sleeve, the whole spiel. I got it for $20. I was like, yeah, that's coming home. All right, let's see what's in this box. This is the thing that kills this. Those off-the mounts are sweet. Yeah, man. As soon as I seen that, I'm like, oh, that's coming home. This is your problem. Look at this thing. If you ever wanted to switch this radio out, you need this. There's nothing you can do without that little board. And this thing smells like crap. It's definitely no good. Yeah. We're going to have to figure out how to get a battery working in this. That's going to be a fun one. All right, the on and off switch. And one thing that I've noticed about this car in particular is it doesn't seem like they wanted to make this thing right, like from the get-go. Because you notice, like, right here. Check it out. You see those 3 posts? Right here. 1, 2, 3. They give you 3 posts for a 4-post style servo. This one here, I believe, only uses 2. The on and off switch has room for 2. They use 1. I don't get it. I wonder if I can get an HPI. No, because the bracket would be wrong. Let's see how this mounts. Good God. Well, we got to take the front end off, which we're probably going to take off anyway, so that'll be secondary. And then this will just come right out. And it looks like 4 screws on the button. No. Strange setup here. Okay, so we got most of the junk out. Not all of it. That box definitely screws in from the bottom, but there's no screws in the bottom. Weird. All right, let's pull this front end off. Should be just a couple of screws, I believe. Those Optima mounts are sweet. Yeah, it looked pretty cool, and I mean, I got it for like nothing, so absolutely grabbing that. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I own it. There's this Savage 25. Since I drove it in a monster truck rally since 7 months ago, that's caked up with dirt. Oh, man. Get yourself some Simple Green and go to it. Also, we'll start to rebuild the Sen Genesis monster truck. Not sure if I'll stick with the 7.7 or use a standard big block. I have a brand new cooling head for that 7.7. You got a damaged one, we can make a deal. Brand new. Let's take that front bumper out, see what's going on here. I don't want to get too bendy with this thing because everything is cheap plastic. It seems like if you get too manhandly with it, it's going to just snap in half. Okay, hitting 2 screws here and some, looks like shock oil. Oh man. How much of this do you got to take apart just to get this front end off? Okay. Couple screws up front here. Boy, God forbid you break this thing out while you're out with it. Jeez. Ain't fixing this. Okay. Getting somewhere. Not fast, but we're getting somewhere. Yeah, you got to be careful with those vintage plastic parts. Now, I bet you had to be careful with this thing even when it was new. Okay, what the heck is holding you? Shouldn't be anything. Maybe those tie rods overlapping it, or holding it. Man, I hope you never break nothing on this. Jesus. There we go. There we go. They put screws underneath the steering rack here. Oh, that's really nice of them. You got to disassemble so much of this just to get to this first servo. Wild. There's one right here. Now I want to compare this while we have some of the parts off to, let's see. A lot of this stuff, honestly, just looks like knockoff XXX NT stuff. Some of it. The arms do, for sure. I want to see how much of this stuff, you know, maybe down the road you can make something cool out of this. If it's worth it. Why? Okay, there's another two here. HRC, what's going on, brother? We're working on a useless one this time. We're going to make something cool out of it, though. Going to fix this reaction. We're going to make it maybe how they should have did it from the get-go. So far, out of all the ones that I've seen that anybody has bought so far, Nitro Pimp has the only one that fully functions because his was new in a box. Anybody that had got one that wasn't brand new in a box, he's a junk. He's a junk. All right. There's the cover. I don't know. We'll have to take a look at that. We'll look at that later. Okay, we got something here. There we go. Certainly did not make this a very easy thing to work on. Like, you'd have to pull the shock tower out to get the main brace out. Steering rack mounts on that. So I'm probably going to have to pull way more part of that to get this back together. But at least we're at where we want to be. There's our servo. How does that rack mount? All right. Let's get this servo out. Servo saver off. What's up? Hi, Urban. What's going on, brother? How are y'all doing today? I'm having a pretty good day. Only downside, I went shopping. I didn't want to get a new pair of shoes just because I could. And I was looking for the Wu-Tang colored Jordans, man. They had them in an 11. They had them in a 10. They didn't have them in a 10.5. Look at this. That's sad. Okay. Look at this design. That could be a problem. That could be a problem. I didn't think of that. Look at what they did here. Remember how I said they only use 3 bolt holes to put the front steering servo in? They didn't use any on this one. Literally slides into these slots and sits. Just like that. It just sits in slots. Look at this. No bolts. You just go, pull it up, it comes out. Once you get the front end apart, that's the front end being together is the only thing that holds it together. That's, we better check that out real quick. We might be shit out of luck. Look at this. Well, at least we know it was used. And absolutely. Well, this is what separates the men from the boys. We're definitely going to have to... Lovely. That's exactly what I wanted to do. We're going to have to trim down these ears a little bit. They're too wide to fit, well, too thick. The width is a little too thick. So you really don't have a whole lot holding that servo in, just the meat. So we're going to have to work with the Dremel and get this thing to fit. Wow. Good job, Sportwerks. Not at all. That sucks. Oh. Rughead. Is that a motherboard? Yeah, man. Yeah, it is. Let's get this all out of here, I guess. You don't have to look at this anymore. Okay, so here's what we're left with. So, absolutely, 100% on that one. Dremel time is right, Urban. Absolutely. That's what she said. RC, what is up? Reminds me of the old Budweiser commercial ad. Yeah, so that is poop. I mean, we don't have to trim a lot. We're going to have to trim some. Okay. First things first. Let's make sure we got the width that we're going to need. Just going to have to trim off a little bit. Not a lot. Get the width right, then we'll start slowly working our way in. And then we can get the rest. I did not think I'd have to be fitting a servo. That's fantastic. Okay, the last thing I want to do is nip that wire. Okay, I'm going to take the same amount. Actually, we should take it all the way up. How far is this got to go? Okay. Should be deep enough. Go a little more, because we're going to have to take more on that other side for sure. Nice and clean. Okay, we're going to take just about the same on this other side. All right, let's check the width. All right, width is good. Now we got to do okay. Let's see if that'll fit. Okay, that will. I think that should. The only thing is now we gotta hope. Where did I put that crap at? There we go. If this is not gonna be, the thickness is about the same. I don't think that'll be an issue because there's nothing I can do about that. Okay, so let's do the same on this side. I don't know. Gonna have to mess with this box. So, is that the problem? I can't do anything with that. What a problem. That piece is gonna have to be cut. There's no way around that. Because the servo's got to sit in that box, the whole box. And it's almost exactly the same size. That is the problem. I'm going to trim a little bit here. I don't want to be trimming the truck up, but I can't cut a servo housing. It's not going to happen. Okay, that's part of it. Okay, let's try again. this is not how I normally do things, you just know that, but this thing is pretty much useless other than parts, so I don't really mind tearing into it a little bit. Okay, that piece has to come out. No nice way of doing that with a Dremel. Okay. Okay, I think I got it. So that's supposed to sit flat. There we go. That's flat. That's flat. There we go. I think that's how it's supposed to sit. Let me throw the old one back in. Just give it an eyeball. Look at this mess. This is disgusting. Yeah, pretty much how the other one sat. That's fine. Good. Wow. Come on now. What do we got here? Let me get caught up on the chat. Is the other servo tapered on the back? No, I don't believe so. A little bit. This one's deeper, so that's why I had to cut that back part out, but it still fits. As far as height is fine. Like you could tell, like this is a much bigger servo. This thing's a piece of shit. All right. Let's see where we're at. My friend gave me an old Hypergo that was collecting dust. I need to find out what's wrong with it. Should I repair it or scrap it? Take a look at it and go from there. No, I wouldn't scrap nothing. I mean, see what it would take to get it going, and there you go. Nitro Pimp wants to know what model Hypergo. He's had a few. See, older 16 GT, I think, yellow and blue. Easier way, the Baby X Max, Baby Infraction, or Baby Cranton. What? Not sure. Rughead, hey Rynks, have you ever gone live with the vertical screen? Yeah, I have. I like this one better for when we're wrenching on the bench. But I don't know. Some people like it, some people don't. I've never noticed any difference as far as views or anything like that. Rugged, those things are nasty, but $170 new, hard to put too much in them. What's that? The Grom stuff? Yeah. I really dig that new Grom Quake. Might get one. Who knows? The only thing I don't like is for the fact that I can spend an extra, couple bucks, and I can get the whole size, the whole thing, the full size one. Okay. So I did not touch that. We're gonna say it was centered. Mess with the steering later. Oh, stop it. Hope the throttle one's not as bad as this. All right, we're gonna replace that. I don't like that. All right, parts bin. See how that's shaped. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, I was looking at Hypergo parts. I was worried it's got stripped discs. I haven't taken it apart yet. Maybe tomorrow. We'll take it apart and see where you're at. I mean, that's the only recommendation I can give. Just go take a look. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. It's got to go this way. It's got to go this way, so that's got to sit like this. Okay, well, let's get this. We got the servo's there. There we go. We got ourselves a servo. I already have a million spare Grom parts, so I'm ready for a skate park tune Grom. Do it. Do it. All right, we'll take the screws up out of this shock tower. Then we're going to take a break. I want to do some comparing. I want to see, like I said, a lot of this stuff looks familiar. I want to compare these arms. I want to see that bulkhead looks close. I wonder how much stuff that they ripped off of like an RC10 GT. Because this is like a Walmart RC10 GT, not a XXX NT. Tower. Who knows? Maybe I'll end up upgrading it with some of the low-C stuff I got. Never know. That's one thing that sucked. I went to the hobby shop, like I said, to see what else I could find, because they've been pulling stuff out of the back. They've been finding things. Usually they find something that's cool and nitro. It's mine. I buy it. And all the low-C stuff was gone, man. Someone bought it. All the LMT stuff was gone. Someone bought that too. All right. Let me go get my bag. I want to take a look at this. This has to come out somehow. Let's see. All right. Here's some miscellaneous low-C stuff. Obviously, the spine isn't going to work. Let's take a look at these arms. That's a rear arm. That's a rear arm. All right, shock towers, nada, no. Do I have front arms? I gotta have some front arms in here somewhere. No, maybe I don't. Let's take a look at the rear. Very similar, but you can probably modify them to work. Looks like the inner hinge pin's just a little different, but it'll fit inside the hinge pin holder. The shape is similar, but yeah, maybe not. Okay. Let's see what's not right. Besides having this whole thing is not right. There we go. All right, this steering is whack. All right, we're gonna pull some more stuff off because it seems like a full assembly is gonna be required on this front end. This is bad. Come on now. There we go. Get out of here, you. Okay, I don't think that's how the rack goes. Let's see something here. Okay, I got to get the manual. That's what I'm going to need. Alright, that's not where it is. There it is, right behind me the whole time. There we go. I know what's wrong with it, ain't got no gas in it. Yeah, no kidding. Let's see what we got here. Rugged Rynks Nitro Rescue. Yeah, I'm definitely saving this one. This one should have been buried in the woods. Did you guys see where HPR is releasing the Savage XL as a kit next month? Yeah, man. I love that blue color. Lotus, what's going on, brother? We know you're getting it. Yeah, he's probably going to get it. I don't know. I actually talked to Brett at AMA to see if I can get one early. I want to see what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas. Yep. Yeah, I don't like the front clip floating like that. Looks like one crash and it's toast. Yeah, it probably is. That is why I said I wasn't going to put a lot of money into it. That's why I found the cheapest, easiest way to get a servo in this thing, which was to buy it from Lumadave used. I got all the pictures in the world. They're going to show me how this thing went? Probably not. Okay. Yeah, we have it upside down. For sure. So let's set that right at the middle so that way we know where we're at. Okay. Let's get that out of here. There we go. Don't do that. Stop moving. Yeah, the servo saver's all plastic, but it doesn't seem too bad. It seems to be doing its job very well. At least the servo's easy to take out now. No screws. I'm gonna figure that out. Awesome. Complement the servo, comes apart. Awesome. All right, what do we need? Wow, is this thing junk? How's that supposed to go? Oh, this thing's gonna fight me all day. I want to know what powers the new Savage. I'm guessing SH. Good question. Good question. I'd like to know myself. Oh, I love this. These diagrams do not show you anything correctly. Like, it doesn't even show that spring. It has a totally different style. Oh my God. Why do I fight with this thing? I'm gonna tear my finger up and I know it. Right there. I don't understand you. Why? Why is this so difficult? Okay. There we go. Okay. Done fighting that. Jesus. Put a little Loctite on that thing. The K series is King Air. Those are still Force. I don't know what they're going to put in it. I can't wait to see what they do with it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. That blue does look wicked. Yeah, I do like the blue. I never was a fan of the orange as much. I always liked the purple, but I love blue, so I dig it. I think it's going to be a fun one. Okay. Well, that's going to go like this. Where's that front end again? There we go. Let's throw some screws in this front end. Get it attached somewhat. There we go. I hope that's the throttle one's not as hard as this one. Jeez. The sad part is, you know, the payoff's not going to be quite as, you know, it's going to be mediocre at best. That's the only thing that sucks. If you're working on something that's fun and you know it's going to be awesome when you're done, that's one thing. But like this thing, we know it's not going to be great. It's we're hoping for good at best. And Pala J, what's going on, bud? We are working on something we shouldn't be, probably. Okay. So we got this here. Wire out of the way. That's upside down. This way looks better. Yeah, that's how it goes. Just like that. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Let's see how this box comes off. Okay, so you can see they had provisions here for screws. They were gonna use screws. And then it must have been a Friday or something like that, and they said, you know what, let's just use double-sided tape. That's okay. Yank this out, clean it up later. So yeah, double-sided tape. That's good. All right. Okay, so that should be all I need to do for the... You can start reassembly. So let's do a little quick cleanup here. Just get some of this stuff out of the way. We can get back to work. 3-speed transmission in the new Savage. Absolutely. What if they're going to just include reverse this time? That'd be cool. Strange. Okay. So if that goes there, that's most part. What holds the servo in? Let's take a look here. Okay, that's going to go there, that's going to go there. So basically, okay, that's got to go under that. So we're going to have to figure out a wiring for this. It's kind of going to go back through here. Yes, that's how that's going to go. Just like that. Okay, cool. I think we're getting somewhere with it. So this has to go on first. Yeah, I don't like the way that front end just kind of wiggles like that. You're right. Looks like it's just ready to... One good hit, man. That's all it would take. Okay, why... Okay, that's good. That's good. Nope, that's got to go on top. This thing sucks. My day is done. Headed to the wood pile. Yeah, good, man. Already done by 2:30? Good deal. I don't like this. Nothing's lining up now. And it has nothing to do with the servo or any of that because we're too far forward. It didn't do anything yet. What is the problem? Let's see. Okay, what is wrong here? Okay, steering rack is in just fine. All right. This sucks. I already hate this thing. All right. Let's take a look at this. I don't know what's wrong. Why will you not just work? This has to go through here. That goes there. Here's the front. That it? I think we got it. Just doesn't want to work. That's all there is to it. We're going to get this thing. Wrong screw. It's for the bottom. All right. Just batching it. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. We are struggling here, my man. We're struggling. This one's giving me some problems today. Figured it would. Okay. Try to get 3 down in 3 different areas, so that way I know it's pinned down. Steering looks like it's gonna work. Okay, there's that one, there's that one. One in the middle. Okay, one more. Okay, front end is together. Let's get this, put these rods back on. So far, overall build quality of this thing is one level below Walmart. I don't even think Walmart would sell this. What car am I working on? All right, let's go back first. This is a Sportwerks Reaction. This thing is it's a pile. Nothing worked on it, so we're going to try to save what I can out of it because I already bought it. We already own it, so I took it. We're going to simplify it. This thing used to have one of the coolest electric start systems on it where you can start it from the remote. It's pretty sweet. If you guys want to see it in action, Nitro Pimp has one that actually works. This one does not. So we're going to make it into something it never was. That's my goal here. We're going to just simplify it, put simple servos in it, take out the reverse, take out the electric start. We're just going to do it our way. All right, how are you, Randy? Hey, Randy, what's going on, brother? Doing all right. Just watching during harvest time. You gonna make that corn maze? If I was the combine driver, I would. Farmers, hard-working people, man. I threw hay for 1 year. My buddy had a farm, and they used to just do the hay just to basically pay the taxes on it. And I helped him out 1 year. I thought, oh, man, that can't be that bad, just throwing hay bales all day. I'll help him out. Man, did I pay for that. Oh, that's not a good time. That sucked. But gotta do what you gotta do. I don't know if that's going to work. Maybe we should power this thing up. I'll hook it up into another receiver real quick. Something that's open. That'll be easy to do. Open, easy to do. Open, easy to do. What do we have? What do we have? Receiver's exposed. I don't have to go crazy with it. What do I got? Everything has a receiver box. Mini B. Mini B doesn't. Let's try it. Make sure it's going to at least work. It better work. It's a lot of work. Oh, I got to dig that out. Forget that. No way. Bad idea. Bad idea. Something else. What do I have that has an open receiver? Put you back. No, thanks. What do I got? What do I got? Nope, nope. Nope. I don't think I have anything. All right, let's try this. Servo saver sounds like shit. That ain't gonna work. Okay. I'm gonna give this one more shot and see what's going on with that thing. We're gonna be screwed. Yeah, something's not good. Why is everything on this thing junk? Last thing I want to do is have this thing fully assembled and that thing not work. That's the servo saver making that noise. Absolutely. What can we do? Is it not assembled correctly? The instruction manual doesn't show crap. Everything they did right so far. Everything's got little bushings in it. That's the design. This design is just poor. It's not the servo. Yeah, thread locker was setting up nice. I'll put more on now. I'm gonna tap it on there. Let's try to. Sure that thing's as bottomed out can get. That looks a little better. The design is horrible. Great lives. I'll see you guys later. Okay, Jay, I'll catch you later, man. Yeah, this thing is just beating me up. Every part of this thing so far has been an absolute nightmare. Where did that go? That's got to go there, and that goes in between the two spins. There's no other way to do that. So that's how it's got to go. There's only one way that this could possibly go, so I don't understand why this thing is so difficult. It's not going to work that way. Okay, screwdriver. Flathead. So we're going to add this to the do not buy list for anybody. This thing is horrible. Horrible. Let's see what it says here. That Turbo Saver, yeah. I got a new cheap one from Amazon for 35 bucks. 1/18 scaled Ashes 4x4. Looks like a little Creighton. So far, so good. Cool. Saw that, Randy. It looks, I could find it and no longer on sale. $42 now. Just checked it last night. Damn, that's dirt cheap. It's got to go that other way. Come on, man. All right. What can we do? This is a terrible design. It's actually not even the right one. It shows a different one entirely. It shows one with a C-clip, just like the steering one. 7047. This has a spring, so they changed this somewhere in the development of this thing, and this is what happened. This thing's junk. I don't think I have a saver that even looks like this, nor do I have one that's the right thread. As soon as you go to put that on, it just pops right off. Come on. Son of a bitch. Get it? I think I got it. I got it. 100% got it. Okay, we got it. All right. Not taking that apart again. Feels a little better. I don't think it's going to work. Let's try it. There's no other way to tighten that up either. All it is a spring. One side goes on one side goes on the other. Bam, you're done. There's nothing much to it. There we go. Steering rack, steering post. That's done. That goes on there. Don't like how much that wiggles. All right, let's try this again. Just gotta put a couple in. Looks like the front clip is at least somewhat together now. Nope. It's amazing. You can take it apart. Didn't seem really eventful. Go to put it back together. This thing's horrible. All right, Urban. Catch ya. Have a good one. Tell her happy birthday from me, brother. And then ask her where that Rynks is. What is this thing getting caught on? Get a screw in here. I'm gonna go work on the front. We're gonna have to try this out. See, make sure the servo will turn it. Maybe it's just working, and that's the problem. There's really nothing wrong with the saver. Might just be working. All right, gotta find something with a I can get to easy. I gotta put a receiver in this slash anyway, so we're gonna have to be in there anyway. There we go. Go get a battery for that. Put that to the side. I gotta get one of those servo testers. That thing would have paid for itself 10 times by now. Okay, steering out. on. No. Come on, Spectrum. How could you not plug in your own shit? There we go. Okay. Let's make sure this is gonna work. Model selects. Carpet slash. Now what? Oh, I see. There we go. There's a servo stay in there, it'll be in good shape. All right, should work. Should work. I'm happy with that. I mean, it is what it is. We can figure it the rest of the way out. I might have to get a different servo saver for that. Come on. Go away. All right. I already have an extension on that, so I can put that back together. All right, so we got steering. Put the box back on this. Or not. Right there. Okay, so we got steering. That servo saver is just a piece of junk from the factory. So that's nice. All right, let's start putting this all back together. That's not even for this. I do not like that. All right, Randy, have a good one. Yeah, we're going to get this thing wrapped up soon, I hope. We got the steering is figured out for the most part. Got to just get the, let's put the bulkhead back on, the steering, the shock tower back on. We should be able to get this steering straightened. Those rods weren't even in the right spot. Weren't you guys watching? Put it in the wrong spot. There we go. They even use plastic. They even use plastic balls inside these tie rods. Afraid to spend a little bit of money on anything. Two, 3, 4. All right, shock tower going back on. What a nightmare. Do not buy this. We're going to get it done, though. We're going to make something cool out of this yet. I'll figure it out. We will figure this out. All right. Let me check something. Don't know what tooth this is. I may have an idea. Will this fit? Let's see what we got here. Nope. Where can we find a horn? What do you think I can use a horn for that for? I have one more spot I'd like to check. If we can fix, we got to fix this problem. That servo saver is junk. I don't want to use that. I don't want to go any further with this until I know it's right, because basically we're burying that servo. So if we bury that servo, we ain't getting it back out. Let me check something. I believe this came with a couple of options. That's not what those are. Here we go. 23 tooth should be this one. Yeah. Okay, I think I got an idea. RC10B7 to the rescue, I think. This is what we're going to use. We're going to just ditch that whole assembly. We are going to ditch that whole assembly. I should be able to do this without removing any of that front end. Kidding me? Now the screw is stripped because I had to put it on so tight to try to get it to stay. All right. There it goes. We will get it off. Oh, trust me. Okay. This thing's going to be fully custom by the time we're done with it. Okay, where are we at? Thanks everybody for coming and hanging out. Hope this thing turns out to be something worthwhile. If not, I have some stuff in the garage we can spontaneously disassemble this thing with. We'll see if we can get around not doing that. Goodbye to you. And you. Much better. Let's get a new screw. And a washer. Where'd it go? There it is. All right, let's get this thing up and running. Nope, no washer. 2.0, not a ball. All right, so tomorrow's going to be awesome. We're going out to the track, first opening day. Carpet race. Carpet race tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to try to take my GoPro, get a couple of the good races. Check out maybe some of the new cars out there. Maybe people got, you know, some new paint jobs, some new builds. We're going to check them out. It's going to be a good day. It's $25 all you could run, so I'm bringing it all. We're going to have fun. Okay, there's that, there's that. Everything in this car is plastic. I mean, everything. There we go. This servo saver can bite it. We are done with that. Okay, check all the screws. Missing 2 up front, 3 up front. Okay. And then the 2 shock ones. And that steering should be better than it was when it came from the factory, because now we have that crappy servo saver is going right in the garbage. And we got ourselves just a straight up horn on this thing. So we'll get this on, we'll get the shocks on, and I'm going to start checking it out, see if it'll looks right. Cool. Why? What's your problem? What is binding? This one. That one there is getting stuck. It's got to be a shorter one. Do we have a shorter one? What's the other side look like? And the other side's just a lot shorter. Okay, so we got the wrong screw somewhere. Rob, what's going on, brother? Having a heck of a fight here, man. But we're winning. We're going to win this one. Okay, so we're going to need a shorter screw. I don't think I have one. One did not come out. We're going to make one. That's what we're going to do. Another thing that's good about these being self-tappers is you don't have to worry about the threads too much. As long as they bite, you're good. All right, that steering feels a lot better now. No popping, no grinding, no nothing. Get these shocks hooked up. See what's going on. Yeah, Rob, man. Got some bullshit going on here, man. But we're getting her. We're getting her. One problem at a time. All right. Is that close on the other side? Yeah, pretty much. All right. Well, we got our steering. That's great. Go ahead and mount the I'm going to mount the receiver right here in the middle, right where the old one was. So that shouldn't be a problem at all. We got to get, let's get the top part, to start getting this top part on. Figure that out. Make sure there's nothing we got to do with that. Shouldn't be. Okay, so it's going to have to go. So we're going to have to mount the receiver in there and then hook everything up. So for now, it's just going to sit in there until I get one. I'll have to take the top back off, but that doesn't seem like that hard. Nope. Wrong. To figure out something for an on and off button. I'd like to use that stock location, but we're gonna have to figure that out when I find the right kind of switch. Those ones are longer. Where's the longer ones? There's one. That's not it. Sure, this is going to be slightly tighter now because that servo's a little thicker, just a little bit. Not really anything I can do about that because we have to use that to hold the whole servo in, so I mean it can't go anywhere. Okay, I'm trying to think now. Do we need to do anything else before I start securing this whole center section down more? 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, let's get this one in here. That one goes in there. This will have to come back out, like I said, once I get a receiver for it, so we can work with them servos. And then, let's see, the steering one, how did that go in? We'll figure it out later. Let's just start getting this back together. Nitro Bob, what's going on, buddy? All right. You're missing the good one, man. You're missing the battle here. A lot of work just to get that front steering to work with a different servo. A lot of work, man. A lot of freaking work. But we're getting it. That's all. I didn't give up. We're getting it. Let's see. I got more screws in here. There better be more screws in here. Because then let's see. Fuel tank's going to sit right there. That's not a problem. Like I said, we're going to put the receiver. I'm going to mount the receiver right underneath this plate. If I wanted to, could put the battery right there and run it right down and in. Bam. And then we don't even have to use the rear. But I kind of want it to look how it should. So we're not going to do that. I'm going to see if I can find... We're going to have to find a battery wire long enough to go from the back of this all the way forward. So I'll have to think of something. Traxxas puts their batteries in the back. I could probably figure out something to use with that. One, two. All right, a couple more screws. One, two, one more. I know I have more screws than this, you know what I mean? I gotta put that skid plate back on too. Do that next. So at least we can say we got the front end tied together. Now we're gonna work on the throttle servo. Throttle server, Rustler battery. Yeah, Rustler or a pretty Slash, Nitro Slash puts them in the back. We're gonna figure something out. Try to go the easiest route possible, and I think that's gonna be the ticket. But dude, I was chopping stuff up. You wouldn't believe the amount of work it took just to get that steering servo to work. The steering servo, the servo saver was a piece of crap. The mounts had to be modified. I had to do a lot of work to get that to fit. But, oh, there was two down there too. There's one. That was not easy, my guy. But we have steering now. All plastic steering rack. I mean, that's probably going to be what's going to break first. Okay, where's the number 4? 4. Jado, possibly. I'm gonna take a better look at it when we get to that point. I still have to order a receiver for it. Like I said, my local hobby shop closed. As far as me getting parts on the, during the day, that's done. Everything I got to do, I got to order. I got to wait. Okay. That looks good to me. I dig it. I dig it. That should work. Okay, let's go on to throttle servo. Yeah, we're not going to hook that up because that's how I got to slide the, what's it called through? There's the throttle servo. Okay. Throttle servo, I believe, went this way. Did it go this way? Nope, it definitely was that way. Okay, let's see what does not fit this time. Okay, this don't look so bad. There's two little knobs right here. See these? Right here. One here, one here. Those two little tits sticking out. They gotta go. They gotta go. Cut them off. That was easy. All right, let's check it out. Okay. Well, we have a problem, but we don't have a terrible problem. Problem we're having now, the servo's too deep. It's too long this way. So we're gonna have to, how are we gonna fix that? Really ain't no way to fix that. But the holes mount up, everything mounts up. I think if we just tighten it up, I don't think we'll have a problem. Let's just get some different screws to do that with. Let's see what we can do. There we go. Let's see if we can make that work. All these got to do is support. Doesn't really do a whole lot. I think I can make this work. What's this Traxxas one for? The posts are too short. That's the problem. But we have 3 of them to use. So this ain't going to go anywhere. Just like that. That's going to drive me nuts. What was this one for? Non-reverse. Do not remember. Huh, okay, we'll have to figure that out later. RC Empire, what's going on, brother? We are struggling today, my friend, but we're getting there. All right, we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna route that wire at a later time. If we're gonna put the receiver in there, we'll lay everything out. Okay, well that wasn't so bad. That wasn't so bad. We can deal with that. So we got our steering servo sorted. The servo saver is garbage. We put just a straight up horn on it. Seems like everything's working as it should. Throttle servo should work, no problem. That's pretty easy. We'll start getting that motor in. The engine, I mean. we're going to need, let's see here. There's the pipe, the header, the 2 brackets we're going to have to install. All right, cool. Cool. One, 2. Motor mount screws. Got to go in first. I'll show you how I fixed this issue we had with that. 2, 3, 4. Okay. One of these has to go on with the mount. Now, here's the cool part. This had the electric start on it, so we're kind of screwed. I couldn't figure out what to do. Original idea was put a pull start on this thing. I couldn't find a pull start to work on this thing. I bought 2 different ones. They did not work. So I just started pulling stuff off my shelf. Oh, where did we go? Hold on. Hold on. Lost the computer. Well, anyway, I started going through parts, and I ended up finding an easy start that I owned already that would work with it. I ended up taking the one-way bearing from one of the cheap pull starters that I bought, and I was able to actually make this work. This is an actual LRP 32 backplate, so it's pretty cool that I got that to work. But, okay, let's see where we're at. All right, computer's up and running. Still have to shoehorn this thing in there, which is amazing. Too far, too far, too far. There we go. Okay, there's the, and this goes, how does this go? Like this. Appreciate that $5 holler, RC Empire Texas. Always good for a couple bucks for fuel, man. I've been using it. Appreciate it a lot. We're going racing tomorrow, so that's going to help me out. Okay, that bracket goes here on the back. Somehow. That's a 2.5, I believe. There we go. Get them down in there. And one goes right there into that transmission housing, and then we got to figure out how the other bracket goes. Forget. Okay, we don't need those stupid grounds anymore, so these can go straight in. Starting to look like a car again. This is awesome. All right. Need one of these. This has to go in there. Everything on this truck seems like it was an afterthought. Like, I think they were probably breaking things. That's why they put these braces to put the engine to the transmission case. Okay, there's that, there's that. Any reason why we cannot run the motor mount? Let's get that other motor mount figured out quick. This is the second motor mount. This has to go on this side somehow. Trying to remember how. It's like that. Yeah, just like that. That motor, that mount's not even straight. Like they made it and bent it, just, oh, that'll work. Trying to get all these ones with the washers on them out of the way. There we go. Now we can just get them on. We'll be in good shape. There we go. One down there. What's everybody else up to today? We're going to get this thing going. I think this is going to be, we're going to have a fire up on this thing in a little while. I just want to hear this engine run. We have not heard this engine run because obviously we had no way of doing it. But we do today. Okay. That's on, that's on, that's on, that's on. That brace can go on later. Obviously. What do we need? What do we need? All right, we'll worry about the throttle linkage later. Okay. 2.0. Wow, why is that even out? 2.5. We need the 2.5. That's going, that's going, that's going. Where did the 2.5 go? Right there. Okay. To run the motor mount down, get that done. All this stuff is getting run down pretty much into plastic anyway. Well, no, those are aluminum. I'm sure I'll have to Loctite these at a later time, but for right now, we're not going to bother. In case it's got to come back out. Okay, motor is in. All right, we're going to need the long screws. We're going to get that the exhaust manifold on. Or the header, however you want to call it. Normally I would try to replace these because I hate Phillips heads, but everything being an odd thread, I don't really have too many options. Okay, I think I got them started. Usually try to go left to right with these, so that way you snug that gasket down even. I have other ones if this one leaks, but for our test purposes, I don't think it's going to, but we'll worry about that later. Now the big deal with this is also, this is an ABN sleeved engine. And I do not believe that this was ever really ran for very long. When I had it apart, it didn't seem like there was a whole lot of really anything going on the inside. It looked beautiful, like brand new. Okay, here we go. Header's on. Fuel tank. Toss a screw in there. One on that side. Fuel tank's mounted. Mount the brake just because we're already there. Like I said, this whole top end's got to come back off once I get a receiver, so I'm not gonna put the tie bar on or anything like that. We're not gonna hook any of the linkage up. It's gonna have to come right back off. I'm just gonna take it and bag it. There we go. Okay, let's try to go elsewhere. What else do we need? What just happened? This thing shut down again? Technical difficulties again. All right, let's see. We'll just put the pipe on there for now. Not going to throw zip ties on it or nothing because we're probably going to have to pull it back off. There we go. That pipe, that wrong. Okay, might have to pull the tank back out real quick. Put it on the wrong way. That's how I would want it. Yeah, we did. Okay. Okay, we're gonna need a piece of fuel line. Where did it go? It had one. Did I steal it? May have stolen it. Okay. Because this is gonna go here. That's an easy one. Just like that. Then the fuel line's got to come out and up. Where could that fuel line have gone? Did I drop it anywhere? I don't want to cut a piece for this. Thank you, T-Max. We're gonna take yours. You won't be needing it. Almost the right length too. Look at that. There we go. Parts for this thing are ridiculously cheap because nobody's working on them. So that's a good thing. Just some of the parts that you're going to need if you have anything wrong. Nitro Bob, thanks, brother. Okay. Let's just take it back. Take a second, just take it all in. Steering's working just fine. All the modifications that we made seem to be working. It does seem to bind up. I don't know if it's just the way, just the angles it's working at or something. It just hits a certain spot. But I think if the servo's trying to turn it, it'll be just fine because we're working against the servo. All right, let's just go get a systems check here. We got our feed, we got our pressure, headers on, engines on, brackets are on. Mesh, there is no adjustment, so the mesh is fine. We don't have any of our linkage up. Okay, so let's take care of that. Let's make sure that this carb is closed. We're gonna make sure that that stays closed, so this thing doesn't sound like a million bumblebees right off the rip. There we go. That'll do the trick. We're gonna open this carb up just a little bit. And of course, it's got the smallest Phillips screw, which I do not probably have something for. I probably don't. Yeah, we gotta open that up a little. Too much. There. All right. Who wants to fire this thing up? I think it'll go. I don't see any reason why it won't go. Make sure the wand is going to work. Doesn't sound very powerful, so we got to make this go and go good. So it's probably the first time this thing's ran in a bajillion years. Yes, that is a technical term. You can look it up. It's more than one, less than a quadrillion. All right. Just going to do the old blow and go. I'm not going to sit here and waste any more time with it. Yeah, thank you. Four o'clock. All right, we're good. Let's see if we can make the noise. There we go. Nice. That's all I'm going to run it in here. I'm not gagging myself out today. Nice. Fire in the hole. We got steering. We should have throttle, no problem. All the linkage is good. We'll put that together and bag that up right now before we lose it. And we got ourselves a runner, man. We got ourselves a runner. This thing is ready to get a receiver. We'll try it again. Great success. What a pain. You guys watched me struggle through some real good ones today. Holy jeez. That was not fun. But at the end of the day, persevere. We got through it. Oh, stop it. That engine sounds pretty good. That thing fired up no problem. Wonder what the problem was, why it was left at a hobby shop. They said they couldn't get it running. I got it running. It's their problem. Okay. All right. Well, that's going to be it. I got it going. That was the goal for the day. Just to be able to get this thing to turn over, and it did. And, yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. I'm going to clean up here. Thank everybody for coming out and checking it out. We got a pretty good day. I mean, that was not fun. That was hard, man. Holy jeez. This thing will fight you every which way shape it can. But in the end, I won. That's all that matters. I won. We were able to get this thing in. Somehow the servos fit. Figure that out. We're going to box up all this old technology that I will no longer need. And maybe someday somebody will need it. Till then, it'll sit on my shelf, or I'm going to send it to Nitro Pimp and let him look at it for the next 30 years. Okay. That's the starter. That's the reverse that's broke. That's all the old technology. That's the problem with it, why it doesn't work. Bunch of servos that are no good. Receiver box. Oh, that can go back on. Air filter can go back on. You find a small box. Conveniently, I have one. Just box this stuff up and get it out of my life. Goodbye, 90s technology. All right. Sweet. All right, so we still have some more work to do on that, but I think we're headed in the right direction. All right, everybody, that's it for me today. I'm going to come back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to basically, right before the race, we're going to race prep all my cars. We're going to get the slash ready to go. That shouldn't need too much. Just a nut and bolt once over. We'll get that done. The Mini B should be ready to go. I don't think I have too much to do on that. And my buggy's good. We're just going to have to put a transmitter in it. Other than that, that's it. We're good. We are good. So, all right. Till tomorrow. That's it for me. I'll catch you